Let's have a look today to see how we can make our avatar a little more expressive, which is useful when you're in conversation with another avatar. The first step is to click on the inventory button at the bottom right, and in here under the My Inventory section we'll see that there is a gestures folder. Now that gestures folder does not have an arrow next to it, which means that there's actually nothing inside there as yet. So we have to get our gestures from somewhere else. And where we get them from is the shared OpenSim library that you see at the bottom here. And this is shared across every avatar on the system. So if you click on the arrow to open it, and then you can scroll down to the bottom. Now if the gestures library isn't already open, it might look like that when you go in there initially. But you can just click on that arrow next to it to open that folder. And in there then you'll see the full list of all the gestures that you can use on your own avatar. And we see wink there at the very bottom. So now I selected the one at the top by left clicking on it, and I'm holding down the shift key on the keyboard, and I'm going to left click on the one at the bottom, and that has the effect of selecting them all. Now I can just right click anywhere in the list and say copy. Now I've copied all the gestures there into the clipboard, into memory. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top again, and I'm going to left click on my own personal inventory gestures folder, and now I'm going to right click on it and say paste. So I'm going to paste all the gestures that I copied from the shared OpenSim folder at the bottom into my own personal gestures folder. Now you might get a message telling you that automatic preview is disabled for 10 seconds because items are copying in too fast, but don't worry about that. It'll just stop for a second and then it'll start again, and eventually all those gestures that we copied will be transferred into your own gestures folder. Now that's just getting them in there, but next, in order to use them, before we use them, we need to actually activate them, make them usable. So again, I'm going to highlight or select all those gestures in my own list by left clicking on the one at the top first, then holding down the shift key on the keyboard and left clicking on the one at the bottom of the list. Now anywhere on the list, again, I'll just right click with the mouse and say at the very bottom of this menu, activate. And you should then see this word activate or active in rounded brackets to the right of every one of those gestures then that you can use. Right, so how do we actually use those gestures then? So let's close down the inventory. Now as you're chatting to another avatar, here you see the local chat bar, so you can just say hello, and let's say someone says something back to you and you're kind of confused. So on the right hand side here of the chat bar you'll see the gestures button, and there's an up arrow there. If you click on that, you'll see all the gestures there that you can select. So in this case you're kind of confused and you want to say shrug. So now that's a bit more expressive than typing, and you can pick whatever one you want there. If you want to wave hello to a friend, perhaps you'd like to do something a little bit more exciting like dance. So that's the gestures, and we hope you have fun with that.